Good morning, students. Today we are going to write a program to find sum of odd, even, sum of all the numbers and average of n numbers by using arrays. So to begin with, we start with include stdio.h as we want to use printf and scanf in the program, and include conio.h as I am going to use clear screen here. So the body of the main program, it starts with void main, opening and closing brace. So inside the body of the main, we are going to write the instructions. So the program says to find sum of odd numbers, even numbers, and sum of all the numbers, average of n numbers. Okay, now let's see how many variables I need. First of all, I need an array. Let's say the array is A and its size is 5. I'm going to declare it as int. It means it is going to store integer type of values. So I need an array to hold 5 different values. As of now, I am taking a small value 5. Okay. And I need another variable I, which I am going to use in the for loop, as well as I will be using it as an index to access the elements of the array. Then we need n. N is what? N is for the count, how many numbers the user is going to enter. To store sum of all the numbers, we are going to declare a variable called sum, and we are initializing it equal to 0 initially. Then I need one variable called esum, which I am initializing to 0, osum, which I am going to initialize to 0. Esum is to hold the sum of even numbers, osum is to hold the sum of odd numbers, and average we are going to declare it as float. I am going to have one more variable called average, right? Since average can have fractional numbers, I am going to write it as float. Okay, declaring it as float. Now after writing clear screen, I am going to say printf enter n. What is n here? N is a count. Suppose if the user has entered n is equal to 5, I am supposed to read that number and store it inside the memory, store it inside the memory location called n, right? So to do that, I say scanf %t %n. It means scan the value entered by the user and store it at the address of n. So here, in this example, we have taken n is equal to 5. So when I perform scanf %d %n, it will store the value as 5 inside the memory location n. Right. Then we are printing printf enter %d value comma n. So %d is a placeholder. At this place the value of n is being placed. So it will print as enter 5 values. So the user is going to enter 5 values. Suppose if the 5 values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's say the user has entered 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Right. I'm supposed to read all these values and store it in my array. Right. So my array is A, which is having the capacity to store 5 elements. Index of the array starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So totally it is capable of storing 5 elements. Right. So how to perform it? To read the elements in an array, we are going to use for loop. The for loop, the initialization of I is equal to 0, because the starting condition we are saying I is equal to 0, as I am using I as the index of the array and the index always starts with 0. So we say I is equal to 0, and each time the loop executes I is incremented by 1. and before it enters the loop, I is being checked with a condition, that is I is 5. Right. Now let's see for the first time how it happens. So for I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. So it means I is already initialized equal to I is equal to 0. Now I am checking, is I less than n? It means is 0 less than 5? Yes. If it is yes, then enter the loop. So it will enter the loop. What is there inside the loop? Inside the loop it is scanf %d ampersand a of I. It means read the value entered by the user and store it in a location a of I. Now I is equal to 0. So a of 0, what it will store? It will store the first value, which is equal to 1. So 1 will get its place at this location of the array. Right. Now before it goes back to the beginning of the loop, I value is incremented. So I is equal to I plus 1 is to be done, which is equal to initial value of I is 0. So 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. So now the value of I becomes 1. Now before it enters the loop, the value of I is being checked with n. So is 1 less than 5? Yes. So enter the loop. So it will again perform scanf %d ampersand a of I. Now what is a of I? A here is a of 1. I is 1. So a of 1 is equal to, what is the next value? The next value is 2. So which is to be stored at this location, that is the second location in the array. Right. So again the process repeats, that is I is equal to I plus 1, which is equal to 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 is, so it will perform before going to the beginning of the loop, and before entering the loop it is going to check, is I less than n? It means less than n. Is 2 less than 5? Yes. Enter the loop. Perform scanf %d ampersand a of I. Now this time what is the value of I? Now second one we have done already. Yes. Now value of I is equal to 2. A of 2. So what is the next value? Next value is 3. So a of 2 is initialized to 3. So 3 will be stored at this location. So now what is the value of I? I is equal to I plus 1 is performed before it goes to the beginning of the loop. So I value was 2. 2 plus 1, it becomes 3. Now before entering the loop, I is checked with n. So is 3 less than 5? Yes. Then again perform scanf function. Now this time a of 3, it is going to store the value in a of 3. What is the next value? Next value is 4. So 4 will be stored in a of 3. Now again before it goes to the beginning of the loop, I is performed I plus 1, which is equal to, already I value is 3. So it performs 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. Is 4 less than 5? It is checked here. This condition is being checked. Is I less than n? That is 4 less than 5? Yes. Then again perform scanf function. So a of 4. Now which is the next value left? That is fifth value. 5. So 5 is being stored in a of 4. So it will get stored here. Right. Now what happens to I? Now again before going to the beginning of the loop, I is equal to I plus 1, which is equal to 4 plus 1. It becomes 5. Now it is going to check is 5 less than 5 before entering the loop. 5 less than 5 is false. So it will come out of the loop and starts with the next instruction to be executed. Okay. Right. Now, okay. Here we have next for loop. This for loop is to find the sum of even numbers, sum of odd numbers, sum of all the numbers. Right. Okay, let me clear the canvas first. Okay. Now, what are the values? The values are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 which are entered by the user. In these values, I need to find out the sum of even, sum of odd and sum of all the numbers as well as average. Now tell me which are the even numbers. Even numbers are those numbers which are divisible by 2. So here in this group, 2 is an even number, 4 is an even number. So sum of these will give me 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. And the remaining 3 values are the odd numbers. So 1 plus 3 plus 6 will give me 1 plus 3 plus 5, not 6. 1 plus 3 plus 5 will give me value 9. Okay. This is sum of even numbers. This is sum of odd numbers. And what is the total sum? Total sum is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 which is equal to 15. And what will be the average? Average is equal to 15 divided by number of elements, that is 5, which is equal to 3. So my answer should be average is 3, sum is of all the numbers is 15, sum of even numbers is 6, sum of odd numbers is 9. So let's see how to perform this. So in this for loop, what I am doing, I am going to check all the elements of the array. That's why I need to start the for loop with 0 and end it at the 5th location, that is up to a of 4 I need to do. So we have written a for loop. I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. So when I is equal to 0, it will first enter the loop because 0 is less than 5. So it will enter the loop. So in the loop, what is the first condition? The first condition is if a of I is I modulo 2 is equal to 0. Now what was our value in the array? In the array we had written, stored the value 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So this is the 0th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th element. So a of our I is equal to what? I is equal to 0 initially. So a of 0 modulo 2 I am checking. So a of 0 is what? A of 0 is 1. Is 1 modulo 2 equal to 0? No. So what modulo gives us? Modulus gives us the remainder value. So 1 divided by 2, is it equal to 0? The remainder value is equal to 0. Yes or no? No. So it will not execute the if body of this. It will go to else part. Okay. Now in else, what we have? In else I have written O sum is equal to O sum plus A of I. Because we are supposed to find the sum of odd numbers. Now if the number is not even, it means it is odd number. That is why what we are performing? We are performing O sum is equal to, what was the initial value of O sum? O sum was 0. 0 plus A of 0. A of 0 is what? 0 plus 1, which is equal to 1. So my O sum value has become 1, whereas E sum value is still equal to 0. Right. Now how about the sum? We have sum is equal to sum plus a of I. What is the initial value of sum? Initial value we have initialized as 0 plus a of 0, which is equal to 0 plus 1, which is equal to 1. So our sum also has become 1. Okay. Now before going to the beginning of the loop, what will be the value of before going to the beginning of the loop? I becomes I plus 1. So we'll write here I will become I plus 1. I will become I plus 1. So what was the value of I? Value of I was 0. 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. It will check is 1 less than 5. Yes. Then enter the loop. Right. Now A of 1 is being checked. A of 1 modulo 2, is it equal to 0? Yes. So A of 1 modulo 2, is it equal to 0? What is A of 1? So let's see here. A of 1 is 2. Is 2 modulo 2 equal to 0? Is 2 modulo 2 equal to 0? Yes. If 2 is divided by 2, the remainder is 0. Yes. That's why the esum instruction is executed. So esum becomes esum plus A of 1. Esum was 0. 0 plus A of 1 is 2. Now it becomes 2. Right. Now the else part is not executed because already if body is executed. Now directly it will go to the next statement after the else, which is sum. So here so far E sum is equal to 2. O sum, what was the value? O sum is equal to 1. Right. And sum, now sum becomes sum equal to sum plus 1. Sorry, sum plus A of I. A of I is equal to 2. What was the previous value of sum? Previous value of sum was 1. So 1 plus 2, it becomes 3. So sum value becomes 3. Now again before going to the beginning of the loop, what happens? I is incremented by 1. So it becomes, what is the value of I here? 1. 1 plus 1, it becomes 2. Now it is checked, is 2 less than 5? Yes. Then enter the loop. Again it is going to check if A of I percentage, modulo 2, is it equal to 0? Now A of 2 modulo 2, is it equal to 0? What is our A of 2? Let's see. A of 2 is 3. Now A of 3, 3 modulo 2, is it equal to 0? No. So it will not execute the if body. It will come to else. So our esum is not changed. Our esum value was 2. It will still remain 2. Whereas now else body is executed and O sum becomes O sum equal to, what was the previous value of O sum? O sum was 1. So 1 plus A of 2. A of 2 is 3. So 1 plus 3, it becomes 4. So now O sum is equal to 4. Then sum instruction is executed. Sum is equal to sum plus 1, sum plus A of I. A of I. So what is the previous value of sum? Previous value of sum is 3. So 3 plus a of, now here a of 2 is 3. Now it becomes 6. So our sum value has become 6. Now in the meantime, before going to the beginning of the loop, I will become I equal to I plus 1, which is equal to I value is 2. So 2 plus 1, that becomes 3. Is 3 less than 5? Yes. Enter the loop. Again it will go on repeating it. So if a of 3 is a of 3 modulo 2, is it equal to 0? Now what is a of 3? Let's see. Now a of 3 is 4. Now 4 divided by 2, what is the remainder that we are going to get? Modulo 2, yes, it is equal to 0. So this if becomes true. So E sum is incremented as E sum is equal to E sum plus A of I. Now what was the previous value of E sum? It was 2. So 2 plus A of 3, which is equal to 4. 2 plus 4, which becomes 6. So E sum now it has become equal to 6. Now else part is not executed as if is true, but sum is equal to sum of A of I is being executed. So the value of sum was 6. Now 6 plus A of 3, which is equal to 6 plus 4, which becomes 10. So O sum was 4. It will still remain 4, whereas sum has become 10. Now before going to the beginning of the loop, I will increment by 1. So I is equal to I plus 1, which is equal to the previous value of I was 3. 3 plus 1, now it becomes 4. So 4 is being checked. Is 4 less than n? Here it is being checked. Yes. Enter the loop. Then check the value, that is A of I modulo 2, whether is it equal to 0. Now A of I is A of 4. A of 4 modulo 2. Let's see what is A of 4. A of 4 here is, it is containing the value 5. Right. So I am checking 5 modulo 2. Is it equal to 0? No. So the if body is not executed. So E sum value is not altered. So E sum value was 6 and it will remain as 6 itself. Now else part is executed. Else contains O sum is equal to O sum plus A of I. So what was the value of O sum? O sum was 4. So 4 plus A of I is A of 4, which is equal to 4 plus 5. Now it becomes 9. So our O sum now becomes 9. And how about the sum? So sum is equal to sum plus A of I. So what was the previous value of sum? Previous value of sum was 10. So now 10 plus A of 4, which is equal to 5. So 10 plus 5 becomes 15. So sum value becomes 15. Right. Now I is incremented by 1. Before entering I was, which is equal to 4 plus 1, which is equal to 5. So 5 is compared with, I is compared with n. Is 5 less than 5? No. So it will not enter the loop. It will come out of the loop. Now when it comes out of the loop, what is the next statement? The next statement is to find the average. So average is equal to sum divided by the number of elements. Since sum we have declared as integer value, I just want to typecast it so that the fractional part is being retained. So we write into bracket float. So it is typecasting, that is temporarily converting the data type. So now average will contain, average is equal to sum. Sum is what? 15. N is what? 5. So 15 divided by 5, it will give me 3. But since I have typecasted it as float, it will print as 3.0. Right? So average will now contain 3.0. Now once we have found all the values, the next work is to print. So printf sum of even numbers is equal to %d. In the place of %d, it has to print esum, which is nothing but esum value is 6. So you can see here sum of even numbers is equal to 6 is printed. Now similarly sum of odd numbers is equal to %d comma osum. So sum of odd numbers is equal to 9 is being printed. Same way sum of all numbers is equal to %d comma sum. So it will print 15. And average, similarly average I am going to print, it will print 3.0. Now as average is a floating point, floating integer, we have declared it as a float integer, I am going to use %f placeholder here. Now getch, that is hold the value till the user enters the new character. The end of the program. Hope you people have understood it. Thank you.